Fandom Academy podcast. I'm hosting today, Jaiden Cameraman Duran, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts and friends, CJ and Laila. CJ, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here with our special guest.
Yes, we do have a special guest. Laila, how you doing today?
I'm so excited. First bonus episode. I'm so excited to have a guest. It's going to be great.
I know. Yeah, it is our first bonus episode. And as you notice, there is an extra member here today. We have a very special guest, Anjali Bhimani. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm very good. I'm super stoked to talk to you today.
I have to take a moment though, because I really just at this moment just noticed all the pops in the background behind you, Laila, and I am highly impressed. That is a collection.
Mm-hmm.
That is
500
legit.
Going strong.
Okay, I think I have I don't have all the Overwatch pops, but I have like the originals. Like the first maybe 15, 20, I don't know, and that's about it. That's all I got. But I'm trying to hold it up. I'm trying to do my part. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. So obviously we have The Last of Us that we wanted to talk about, but before we get into that, you were talking a little bit about how with great power comes great responsibility, and how you find it as your mission to help other people and to kind of use your platform to leverage others into bringing them up in whatever endeavors they have in their lives. So with our podcast, we talk about the youngins in the industry that are just breaking in, just trying to kind of make a name for themselves, kind of find their belonging in this whole vast industry. So we had a question of and I'll pass it to CJ, just kind of how you kind of broke into the industry, but I'll pass it to CJ.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We focus around here about like young people breaking into the industry, and I know we are more in the media side, but from the acting perspective, what was it like for you when you initially broke into the acting scene over in Hollywood?
It's so funny because just the term of the question, how do you break into acting? How do you break into Hollywood? How do you break into voice acting? I've never thought of it that way, because when I was younger, I did not have, I aspired to things, but I did not have this idea that like, oh, I need to be an award-winning actor on Broadway and Oscars and this, so I have to break in. It was more, cool, this is the career I've chosen. So these are the things that I am going to do, because I know that if I am taking this seriously as a career, I'm going to make these decisions and do these actions, and eventually with good fortune and persistence, it will pay off. So breaking into me, I think that alone is a false narrative that we tell ourselves, that just like the myth of the big break, you hear about people who are quote unquote overnight sensations that have been doing this for 30 years. And you're like, it's not their big break. It's just that things like people finally took notice of this particular project. So for me, I think it's going to sound very not sexy, so apologies, but the job is really just like any other job. Completely, like, keep working on your skills, keep working on the things you need to know, keep meeting people. Anyone who complains, oh, well, it's all about who you know, about anything, is like, okay, good, so know people. Create genuine relationships with people. Ask people about things. Now we have so much access to each other on the internet, that actually getting a chance to talk with people who we normally wouldn't have had access to 20, 30 years ago, now we do. And so get to know more people, ask people questions. If the barrier to entry is information, get the information on the internet from people, whoever it is, and then just stay persistent. Just trust that this is going to sound so cliche, but I swear I have never seen more proof of it than this year, when I had kind of an aha moment as well, that your path is completely unique. And it's so easy to compare ourselves in life, and we all do it. So I'm not going to say don't do it, but just continuing to remind yourself, not that, oh, well, that's not my path, so I shouldn't look at it, but that you are forging your own. So as much as you may admire other people or look at people and be like, oh, I want that career. You don't want that career. You want parts of it, but you want your own. You want the one that you are creating, that you are curating. You are going to have this custom-made life that you are putting together. So look around at what other people are doing as proof of what you can have, not as I need to have that thing that they have. And that goes for life in general. That goes for relationships. That goes for homes. That goes for anything. Let it be proof of what you can do, rather than the thing that you have to have that belongs to someone else, because that's not the life that you want to be leading.
Agreed. I especially agree with the meeting people. I met TJ online last year or so, and it's brought me this opportunity to be here with all you wonderful people, working towards my dreams, and agree, forging my own path. I really liked how you said that. That was well spoken.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely speak to that too, just because, I'm 21 now, so my path is
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. So my path is starting a little bit late. I mean, to other people it would be a little late. For me, it kind of still seems early just because I am still so young.
I don't know what's late.
Yeah.
There are people at 21 who still have no idea. 21 is not late for anything.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I kind of had to deal with, kind of breaking into this, because it kind of ripped me from like a normal life that, like my parents wanted and all that stuff. So it was like, now I'm kind of, what is normal? I'm on this path now. So I'm so much happier that I am. And I feel like I'm really starting to kind of learn myself and learn my abilities and kind of use that to my advantage. So that's been really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
also, I'm going to do a little tangent.
Yeah. Definitely.
If you watch my web series, I Am Fun Size, there is an episode with Jennifer Hale, obviously like our personal legend in the voiceover world, who also happens to be our dear friend and one of the most amazing human beings you'll ever meet. And I specifically asked her a question because she is a mother, and I wanted people to hear her answer because I knew what it was. And I said, as a mother, what is the most important thing to you for your kid? What is the most important thing? And she said that my kid is happy. That is the most important thing. And then just below that my kid is happy, that he can take care of himself, and that he's a good person. Those three things can happen in any career. And all parents really do, at their core, I believe, want that for their children. So if you're in a situation where your parents maybe, quote unquote, don't approve of your career or whatever, if you can look at it from the vantage point of they want what's best for me and they think that is what that is, that's not them not approving of me. And the fact that you, Jaiden, are showing them by being happier, by being excited about what's going on, that can only help things. That can only bring you guys closer. So I just want to put that out there because I know a lot of folks struggle with that.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate that. Definitely something I've been working with. But, with that being said, you've been in the gaming industry. So you started in the gaming industry, correct?
No, I did not. No. The gaming industry is the last industry that I joined.
Right.
I started in theater.
Right.
Did a lot of theater, music theater, Broadway, opera, all of that. Then I started doing television. I've been doing television for a nice long time, and then I started doing voiceover, and then gaming came along. So that is the newest branch of the storytelling tree. Well, actually, writing my book was the newest.
Right.
Like in terms of acting, gaming is definitely the last one.
Right.
Which is interesting because I was a gamer when I was a kid, so I was already playing. But being on this side of things, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I was at, because I knew you were a gamer. I knew you played games. I knew you liked to play games. So I wasn't sure if that was kind of where you started. But being that's where you are now, or most recently, the gaming industry has been popping lately. And the game adaptations
lately, as in for like the last decade, yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like, especially when it comes to adapting those games and those stories into now TV shows, potential films, and there's a bunch of stuff coming out in the future. So my question to you is, being that you are someone who is very well kept in the gaming industry, is there anything that you would want to see become adapted into a series or a film moving forward?
Oh my God, so many things. I mean, there's so many stories being told. I couldn't, is there anything? I can't pick one. There's so many. I mean, there's so many that are really ripe for a series. more than a movie, because I like the ongoing nature and the consistent nature of television. Even when you're doing sequels, there's a long period of time in between, right? I think that there are so many games that, because they are almost episodic while you're playing through them, you know, when you see those cutscenes in so many games, you're like, well, I'm essentially watching a TV show. I'm watching a scene from a show, right? And so, God, I mean, obviously Apex and Overwatch, I would love to see for obvious personal reasons, but also because those characters are so unique and so deep, and so there's so much story to mine there. I would love to see those. Oh God, I can't remember the name of this freaking game. It was last year. The actress won the BAFTA for best performance in a game, where she's basically on a planet that is essentially trying to destroy her, and she's trying to figure out what's happened. And like I see so many beautiful stories being told through games. It only makes sense that they would be that someone might look at them and be like, huh, what would it be like if we turned this into a TV show or a film? The challenge is that one wants, and I think they've done that incredibly well with The Last of Us, one wants, when you move something from one medium to the other or adapt it, you really do, at least I do, I want to see a reason why we're switching media here. I want to see a reason why it needs to be retold in that medium, which means there needs to be something that is different, something that is unique to that particular form of storytelling, that makes this a brand new thing, even though it's based on something else. Whether you're going from a book to a movie, or from a movie to a book, or a game to a book, or a blah, 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 whatever it is, I feel like there needs to be something new that way. And like I said, I feel like The Last of Us right now is such a prime example of that.
Yeah, definitely. And now that you brought, definitely, Laila, go ahead.
Let's talk about The Last of Us. I know you were at the premiere. I myself have been a huge fan of the games for many years now, and just seeing it brought to life. Pedro Pascal is my favorite actor in the entire
Isn't he
world.
incredible? Oh God, he can do no wrong in my book. He knew no wrong.
My favorite person on the planet. So seeing him as Joel has just been like the best thing in my life. Did you have fun? One, did you have fun at the premiere? I'm extremely jealous.
I think that's a ridiculous question. That's got to be a rhetorical question. Of course, I had fun at the premiere.
Great.
And I was very lucky because I right when I got there, Troy Baker and Laura Bailey and Ashley Johnson and all the folks who were, associated with the game that were also friends of mine had arrived. So I got to see it with them and spend a good portion of the evening with them, and to be able to watch it knowing, like, imagining what they were experiencing as they were seeing it and being a part of it. It's just, it was absolutely fantastic. Plus HBO really knows how to throw a party. So it was a torrential downpour that night. That's the only thing, I seriously thought Los Angeles was going to flood, but it was a great night. Great.
Amazing. And seeing as we're on episode 5. Episode 5 comes out tonight. Had you played the games prior? Did you know?
I played through part of the games. Here's a sad truth about me and my gaming ability. I'm really bad at first-person shooters. So bad that it is next to, I can't even get past the training module on Apex Legends. That's how bad I am. So I know the stories. And I generally know the narratives, but I need to spend a little bit more time to be able to actually play through the games.
It's so funny because sat here every week while we cover it. Obviously I know what's coming. Most of the time, so I'm just sat there here ha ha ha.
Right, but also, don't you love? And this is speaking to what I was saying before. Don't you love how they are not changing the story, but showing you different aspects of the story that don't necessarily show up in the game?
100%. Bill and Frank's little story,
and don't tell them. No spoilers. The third episode, and I was warned the third episode would break my heart, and I didn't know what that meant. I was like, oh no, someone's gonna die. That's what I always assume. If it's gonna break my heart, someone I love is gonna die. Great, thanks for spoiling it. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was just the most extraordinary story. That was just the backstory about these two characters that were incidental in Joel's life. But the fact that they took a whole episode to tell that story, and the way that they told it was such a gift that even if you had played through the game and knew every nuance of the game, you hadn't had that yet.
Yeah.
And those two actors, my God, they are just extraordinary. Just extraordinary. So yeah, like I love that they are doing such a great job of it. I love that if you listen to the official podcast, which is Troy and then the two creators of the game talking about the show, like they talk about each episode after the episode has aired, and you listen to how if you just listen to the first episode, it'll tell you about how they came to creating this and things that they wanted to do. And one of the big things they wanted to do was make sure that they weren't just replicating the game. And I know that is, for some people who are big fans of the game, that's a big challenge because they just want it to be true to the game. But I think if they could just let go a little bit of that notion of what it has to be to open up to the possibility of a different story, that overlap between the story, yes, it's a sweet spot, but you get more if you have two things that are doing this than you have two things that are doing this. You get double, you get so much more out of it. Like, the casting of Melanie Linsky in episode 4, absolutely freaking genius. Yeah. Love that on multiple levels.
Cool.
And just the casting alone, period. Pedro and Bella and Gabriel and like everybody who they have chosen to portray the people that they have. Just a really beautiful job.
I think collectively all we do every week is just praise the casting. Like
Yep.
Bella as Ellie.
Bella is ridiculous.
One of the best things I've ever witnessed. Like,
if I didn't love her so much, I would be mad at her because she's so talented. Like, I love her already because of Game of Thrones. I was like, that's one of my favorite characters in the entire series is her because of her. And also incidentally Pedro, which is interesting. But those two. But I also love the fact that they told her not to play the game, and she still has this amazing like Ellie-ness about her.
Yeah.
That I love so much. So yeah, they're killing me. They're killing me.
Yeah. One of my favorite things has just been Ashley praising Bella as well. Like seeing like the original actress of Ellie. It's like passing the torch on, I guess, to Bella. It's just been so amazing to see everyone praising, and it's just been an emotional ride, and I'm very excited to see what's coming in the next few weeks.
I think we all are. Like my husband is not a big gamer, but he loves visual storytelling, loves television, loves movies. So being able to introduce him to the game through this, and he also knows Troy, and he knows Ashley, and he knows Laura, so he's like able to step into it from a different vantage point. That's the other thing that's so wonderful about bringing it to a new medium, is you bring an entire new audience. So as people who know the game, yes, we get another layer of understanding, but people who haven't played the game can enjoy it too. Mm-hmm. And for completely different reasons, and completely fully have a great full experience, which I'm much more interested in more people being included in the fun than less.
Definitely.
If you can call the zombie apocalypse fun.
Yeah.
It looks like we're coming towards your heart out here. It's 1:45.
I know. I'm so sorry, you guys.
No, it's all good. No,
I have to keep going to auditions so I can have a reason to get to come talk to you guys. So,
and it's more reason for us to watch. So hey.
And you know what? I am going to circle back to the purpose of your podcast. That's another piece of information I would like to pass on to the younger generation. And when I say younger, I don't even mean young in age. I mean people who are just starting to explore a career in the arts or anywhere. There is at no point a point where you've suddenly, I've made it. I can sit back and do nothing. The most talented people in the world, are still auditioning. They are still honing their craft. They are still working on it, and they are still facing the heartbreak of not being able to do things for whatever reason or not being able to get a role, not getting financing for this movie or whatever. That is not to scare you. That is to let you know, again, you are not alone in the struggle. You are not alone. This is an ongoing game. The game isn't fun if there's nothing to compete against, right? There's got to be something. So no matter what level you're at, do your best if you can to enjoy the quest as much as the achieving of that goal.
I almost feel like there should have been a mic drop. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. That's better than anything it could have been. That's a good way to end today's episode. Again, bonus episode number 1 for Fandom Academy podcast, which is super exciting.
The beginning of many, I hope.
Yes, definitely. Thanks you guys for tuning in. You can find us on YouTube, on the Agents of Fandom YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Put your notification bell on so you get notifications for our episodes dropping. You can find our podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. Anjali, thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate you taking the time.
Sure. Thank you, guys. And I hope to see you when you're out here.